Hello guys, this video I'm gonna introduce the interface software of Audja. So first of all, you have to go to audja.com to be able to download software, and you gotta make an account for it. Okay, so let's start. So after you open software, you're gonna see the welcome panel of Audja. That's basically a combination between Audja and FluidPrints. FluidPrints is a 3D library, so you can print or do anything you want. Okay, and for Audja you can purchase the software lifetime for $49, and also you can support from here. And this part, so you can send feedback, or there is any issue, you have Reddit and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, so you can connect with us or with other users on these platforms. Okay, so first thing we're gonna know is the movement inside software, because that's not like slicers you can move with the mouse only. So if you press left click, you can't just rotate or do anything. So if you hold alt and left click, you can move as any 3D software, not a slicer. Okay, and if you want to zoom in and out, you can do that with right click up and down, as you can see, or you can do it with the mouse wheel. See, right? And if you want to go like up and down, you can press on the wheel of the mouse like this, right? And also there is two views of the camera. So if you go up here, you're gonna see the perspective, and if we go here, you're gonna see the orthographic projection. So that's basically what the slicers usually use, as you can see. But we're gonna be it's gonna be like more explained when we import any model. So now I'm gonna import a model, and I'm gonna explain the panels more, because that's gonna be more accurate on a real model. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, import, or you can go from up as you want. And let's see, I'm gonna use this. All right. So as you can see, after we import the model, you're gonna see dimensions of the 3 x and y and z, and you know, the measure of it. So if you want, we're gonna explain the top part first, and right panel and left panel. Okay, so up here we're gonna show the grid. This basically, this is squares. If you're gonna press this, it's gonna disappear. And second one is the dimensions. If you want this to disappear, you're gonna disable it or enable it as you want, and you can change the unit as you want, centimeter or meter or inch or feet, as you can see, right? And this one basically showing the frame of your model if there is any issue, or you know, want to see the wireframe of your project. And there is a transparent or alpha, so you can see through the model, and you can control it from here, as you see. But basically it's gonna be good at low percentage, right? And this one showing the overhangs of the model. If you want to see where is the overhang before you do a manual support in Slicer. So if you go here, so that's the overhang of the software, so of the model. So you must do support here and here, and one from up to here. So as you can rotate the model, it's gonna reflect for what you're gonna do, as you can see. See? All right. And we have here a cross section. If we press on it, you're gonna see like it cut through the model, so you can see what is inside, or if there is a tiny part you wanna paint or stuff like this. So that's basically in every slicer, I guess. But it like basics must be there. And we have here the move tool. So if you press E and on the model, you can, you know, move it right and left, all of this. And if you want to switch to rotation, you can press R like this. And if you want to scale, you can press S or use from this. You can switch between these three with the mouse, or you can press E, R, S, as you can see. So you can scale as you want. So let's say if you want to move the gizmo from here to make it like up here, or anywhere you want, I'm gonna go to press on this lock, and I can move it as I want and lock it again, as you can see. And if I want to make it in the center of the model, and that's basically the default or what you're gonna prefer, because you know that's gonna be distracted if the gizmo up here, you know. So you can press here, and it's gonna be in the center, right? And if you want it to go back down, you can press here. Let's say if you moved the model like this, if we did a rotation like this, okay, and like this. As you can see, if I move to move tool, you're gonna see the dimensions not actually like straight lines, so I can move up and down. See, that's not actually accurate. I can't move up and down, so but only you can do this. But if I press here, it's gonna turn this gizmo according to the object. It's gonna be make it to the world of the dimensions between the model. So if you're gonna press here, as you can see the difference. That's basically straight lines of gizmo, so you can move up and down. But like this, that's actually not good. That's transformer section, and this one is basically if you are like this and you want to get the full view of the model, you can press here or F, so it goes back. And this one, top view and front view and back and right and left, and that's the view of perspective as I explained first. And if we went to orthographics as the slicers use, it's gonna be like this. So you can see the right and left view more accurate than perspective, as you can see. But basically the default for it is perspective, because that's actually better for painting small parts or stuff like this. And we have here the undo and redo. You can control from Control Z or Control Y, or from up here. And if your model is in the sky like this and you wanted to drop it on the plane, you can press G and it's gonna go down, or you can press it from here. But that's not orientation of the model, because if you let's say if you rotate this model like this, okay, and you press G, it's gonna drop on the plane, but doesn't give you the best position to print. So, but if you press Shift and G like this, that's basically the best position for the printing. Import something else. So if we have this project and I rotated this like this many times, and I want the flat base to be on the plane. So if I press, so let's say it's up, and if I press G, that's it for the G button. So if you press Shift and G, as you can see, it rotated the model for the flat base. And this one for applying the cut under the plane or the plate of your model. So if you have like design and doesn't have a good first layer, so you can just move the design like down, as you can see, and I can see it from down, so I can see where's the plane gonna cut, and I'm gonna press apply, and that's it. If we move it up, that's actually flat, so you can print easily if there is any model you want. But that's different from slicer, because slicers doesn't apply the cut. It only accept the blade cut only while you are printing. And this one is the measured distance. So if you want to know the point from here to here, as you can see, 7. And if you want to know the angle of this position, so let's say you're gonna do another point here, as you can see. So that's actually useful for accurate, more precise stuff. So that's the top bar of the Audja. And if you see here, you're gonna see open slicer. After you cut and do anything, painting, you finished your job in Audja, you can basically not import or export the stream F or still you can just open the slicer directly. And Audja detected the slicers you have on your PC. As you can see, I have Orca, Bamboo, Prosa, Anycubic, Reality. So if I press anyone, and I can open it. And you can work inside Audja with many projects at the same time. So if I press new tab here, so as you can see, it feels like I just opened software from beginning. All settings is default. Even if I changed anything here, it's gonna like reset to the default settings. And you can add as I want. And there is another thing, you can move the meshes or any objects from here. You can move it in any part or any tab you want, as you can see. And I can, move inside the tabs as I want, okay? So I'm gonna explain the right panel and left panel and the bottom one, okay? So on right panel, you're gonna see tools, and that's the geometry stuff and the work we're gonna use too much. And inspector, that's for dimensions more, so you have full control on dimensions. And as you can see, you can do that. If the model in different rotation, I can just press here, and that's this stuff here, right here, is the up there, so you can control it easily also. And this info is about the STL file you have. As you can see, it have only one mesh and faces and painted. If I bent like this, as you can see, and we have more control on the camera from up here. If you want to change the FOV like this, you can do whatever you want. But basically like 35 is the best one. And you can switch also from here and change the settings as you want. And there is an important thing, it's about the orbit focus. So let's say if you zoom in the space, and as you can see, I lost the orbit focus, so I can't rotate around the model. It is rotating in the space, and that's a big issue for me. So you can put the mouse on any part you want to focus on it. So let's say I'm gonna put up here, see, and I'm gonna press tab, see here, orbit focus. So if I zoom in and press alt and left click, it's gonna move around this part I set the mouse on. See? So I have full control on the camera, and that's so important because other slicers doesn't have that. So that's basically because they are using orthographic. So if you want, focus more on any part, you can press, you put mouse on the part you want, press tab, and that's it. So let's say if I want the scale, focus on the scale, I'm gonna put the mouse on it, and I can move as I want. Right? So let's go to tools section. We have here a repair section. If the model has any issue in holes or self-intersections or normal flipped or anything of this, you can press on the issue you want to solve, or I prefer to press auto repair, and that's gonna, repair everything here. And you have two styles of self-intersections repair. You have cut and fill and relax. The auto repair basically using relax for this one because it is less damage for the model if there is a big issues, or like if there is self-intersections issues like thousands of them, you can do relax. That's gonna be more better. But the default, and you don't have to set from here, default, if you press auto repair, it's gonna do like relax automatic. Okay. And down here, if you have like small parts, separated parts, like tiny parts flying in the space, you can press here, and that's gonna remove all the small parts and remaining only the one big mesh with too much faces. Okay, and you have also full control on it from here. If you press here, you're gonna see the faces, and if there's tiny parts, it's gonna be like part 2, part 3, part 4 with 2 faces, 3 faces, or 100 faces. You can select largest one, this one for example, keep it. That's gonna delete all the small parts, and if you want to delete anything, you can select with control, select them, and you're gonna press delete. Okay, and we have build section. Separate, we have 3 types of separation. Painted by color, so you have to paint so you can be able to use these functions, and I'm gonna explain it like more in more videos. And we have decimate here. You can decimate the model as you want. That's basically the faces right now. So if I want to make it like 30 like this, as you can see, let me open the wireframe. It was like this, and when I press apply, as you can see, so that's useful. And if I want to go back to switch to any tool in the build section, you're gonna press change tool. Okay, and we have mirror, and this one, you know, it's making the left right and right left and upside down if you don't want to use any gizmo or anything from this. And we have the hollow here. I'm gonna explain it more in another videos. And the thickness also, keys, that's if you want like make joints or connectors between separated parts already, you separated them and you want to make keys between them, but like one by one, not automatic. So you're gonna set like part A and part B and start. I'm gonna also explain that more. I'm just, you know, I'm introducing the interface of the software, but I'm not explaining or making these videos as tutorials of these functions. And you have here, if you want to test connectors, and that's actually a feedback from user told me about it. So if you want to do a test before you're printing the actual model, and you want to test the connectors if this is too tight or more or less and stuff like this, you can do a manual. So you can set the clearance of every cube or every type of connector, and you can do it like auto. So we're gonna make the clearance start from 0.02, and I'm gonna press on live preview. As you can see, we have this shape. You can see the glow of this stuff. That's basically because the tiny parts panel, that's detection of the how many faces it should detect. So if I did like 500, so as you can see, it this model is actually more or less than 500. It is 54 and 54, both of them. So if I set like under 54, so let's say 50, it's not gonna detect, because that's as basically not a tiny parts, because I bought the percentage or the number I want. If I bought like 1 million, of course it's gonna detect, you know. So you can hide this from here. You can just make the default 500 and you can press here. So you have a preview of test set of connectors. You can control from here if you want, like control the depth of the key or the width of it or the size of the cube itself. And you can just press generate, and it's gonna generate different clearance of everything, and also with different connectors. So if you select this, show it from up, as you can see, each one have a different clearance and different type of connector. As you can see, that's actually like tough part. So after keys, we have the smooth. You can smooth your model. So if I go to light, you can choose what I want. If I go to medium and apply, it's gonna make my mesh more smooth. So as you can see, after we did it smooth, we have self-intersections issues. If I press auto repair, that's it. That's so fast, I know. Let's go back like this, all right? And we have here rebuild, that's voxel or dynamic in ZBrush. So you can rebuild your whole model. So if I'm going this and rebuild, so it rebuilt the whole model and I can do more fine. So as you can see, it take like a while, to be honest, because that's too hard. It created 2 million faces. But it's actually more smooth than before. And you can press here to solve all the issues, but we're gonna go back. And we have here batch. If you want, like, you have like 100 model inside this plane and you want to solve all the issues up here and you don't want to press on everyone to solve, you can just select this and you're gonna choose the file of the models and it's gonna do it automatic. Okay, I'm gonna explain it also in another videos. And we have here the advanced, that's basically the Boolean stuff. If we, let's say, if we duplicate the model, if you want to duplicate the model and you don't want to come here and press duplicate, you can just press control and left click and drag like this. All right. So you can control from here. If you move this, as you can see, or I want to make it union like this. You press apply. So you can see if I open the wireframe, that's the right panel, and we have also the Mold Studio, but we're gonna explain it more when we go down there. Okay, and left panel we have object section, and if you press here, we have build plates. When you open your software or Audja or anything, you're gonna set the settings of your printer from here. You're gonna press build plates and press here. You can write the name of your printer if the M or reason. As you can see, let's say Lego. As you can see, all types of Lego. And you have also like custom bed plate. You can set the dimensions if your printer not here, okay? And we have plates as a slicer system, like you can add plates as you want. You can control it from here also, remove, and you can rename every plate as you want. And you can disappear all of them or make it visible from here, and you can do it manual. And we have here the auto arrange. If we have let me delete all of this. Okay, so let's make duplicated from this and do this and this and this. I'm pressing control and left click, right? So I'm gonna make auto arrange for them. If I press here, I can set the space as I want. So let's say it's 10. And I arrange, as you can see. And if I press Shift and G, but select all the models, Control A, and Shift and G, as you can see, to make it like best way for printing. And if I press again, so that's like basic stuff in any slicer, but it's so important in our case. And if we go here to object, you have the section that's gonna collect all your STL or trim-F or any separated parts or anything inside your viewport. It's gonna be up here. So as you can see, right? And if you want to rename all of them, you can do select all and press rename selected, and you can set the name like statue, for example, as you can see. And we have here the inspection section. You can control the height of it. It is showing the, you know, the issues that appear here, but also the volume, and that's so important. It's saying like if the mesh actually gonna be printed or will have more issues in boolean issues, because if the model or the mesh have issues in positive volume, you cannot do boolean even if your self intersections solve it. But there is like, if there is any issue in your model, that's gonna be like orange color, and any of this is gonna be like orange stuff. So let me run my model to see if actually working. Oh, not this. So as you can see, it detected an instant for self intersections. If I go more, also normals. And what just appeared in the screen, that's auto saving for the project. I'm gonna explain it more when I go up here. But for right now, you can see it detects the issues directly, and you can solve it from here, automatic. Okay. So, and you have here also the overhangs from up here. As you can see, you can use it from here or up here. All right. And in the bottom here, you're gonna see color printer. If you press on it, you can see the slot and the all tools for painting. I'm gonna explain every tool and selection stuff. You can do it smooth also. In the auto painting, and that's actually so useful. And the export, if you want to export the stream.f only, you can do it from here. And we have the mold studio, and that's a huge section. I'm gonna explain it more. And we have here the smart key cut with 3 styles of cutting, and the auto one, that's so fast, this one. And that's the manual, so you can control the plates more. Right? And that's for articulate 3D articulated dragons, or you know, keychain or stuff like this. Yeah, you can just, you know, I'm gonna explain it more in the coming videos. I don't want to make this video like so heavy. So after we finish the bottom, we're gonna go up in the file. If we press on file, you're gonna see the new project that's actually gonna make ask me if I want to, you know, unsave this project I'm working on. If I want to save it, if I'm gonna save it, the project is gonna be the format file .audja instead of .streamf as Slicer is doing. So you can open and you're gonna see the settings, the same settings and the same view camera, the everything, you know. If we go to save and if we go to open project, you're gonna open the project that you saved from here, and you can do import for, you know, like STL, OBJ, PX, GLP, and PLY, streamf, these types. And you can export the selected one, STL or anything you want, and you can export if you have like 100 STLs from here. You can just export all, and all as a separate STLs or OBJ, or you know, anything you want, or streamf. And this one, preferences, if you open it, you have the settings of the software. You can choose any language you want. We have English, Chinese, German, Japanese, and more. We have also Arabic. If you go to Japanese, as you can see, in everything in the software actually translated. But the default is English, okay? And you can control the UI scale from here, and the font size and the icon and the button size. Also, you have like full control on the software, but the settings of the interface not gonna apply once you move the scroll or the slider. You have to reopen the software or restart the software to see the change. All right. And if you go to viewport, you know, basically stuff. Camera, we explained it, and units, we explained it also from here. And import, yeah, this part, like, important if you don't want to take time for pressing here. I know that's basically joking stuff, because that's what other softwares doing. If you open the object, you're gonna see the issues and you're gonna press here to solve the issues, or you're gonna press many buttons to solve the issues. But we have here auto repair on import. So if you apply this and save, and if you have issues in any files you import, that's like it's gonna import but with solved issues, not issues. It's gonna detect 0 issues after you do import. So that's important. If you want your mesh so ready, like you import it and that's ready, that's it. But basically I'm not doing that because I want to see the issues in the model, so I have full control from here. All right. And in performance, you can you have control Z that's doing undo. So you have history of undo. You can control how many times you want. If you're gonna increase it like more than 30, you're gonna feel the software more heavy, so you have full control on how much you want. But if your software, if your PC more powerful in CPU and RAM and but not GPU, but CPU and RAM, you can, you know, increase it as you want. But I'm not suggesting like moving above 30, because you won't need it. So the default is 10, you can control it. And after you do any change for me, we're gonna press save, okay? And we have just one auto frame. You can control your frame from here, because sometimes if you have a monitor of 240 hertz, for example, and the software gonna detect the 240, so it's gonna feel so smooth in the viewport while you are moving, but that's gonna cost you in your performance. So you can set the FPS as you want. If you feel comfortable with 70 or 60, you know, you can do whatever you want. But basically, automatic is gonna detect the FPS of your monitor. So if you feel anything heavy in your software, you must, you know, change this and make it like 60. It's gonna be more better, and you're gonna save. Okay. This section for auto saving, it's manual, and the default of it, it's gonna save every 20 minutes, and you have the directions of saving. So as you can see, that's the path of auto saving. You have all the projects here that got auto save, and that's with the object format.audja. If you open this in Audja, it's gonna open automatic. And so you can make it like the default is good for 20, and you can increase it to 120 or as you want, also 10 minutes. But best value for me is, you know, 20. The shortcuts, that's so important. You have actually a full control on every tool in the software. You can do a shortcut for it, but it is more for the painting stuff. So if I open the color painter and I choose brush, okay, let's come for this part. I'm gonna do, if I paint like this, it's gonna paint like squares or triangles, but I want to make it smooth, so I'm gonna enable this, so it's gonna paint like this. So if I'm painting detailed stuff and I'm focused on the project, so I don't wanna to switch between this and this and this, so I connected that's, you can change actually. I make the brush tool from in the mouse button in the left in your mouse, and I made the erase in the another button in the mouse behind it. So let's say I make it like this, and I don't want to go here and press and, you know, print again. So I can basically just press on the another button, and that's gonna, you know, do this, and I have full control in my mouse, you know. And if you don't feel comfortable with it, you can change it from here. If you press here, for example, and you press Y, it's gonna detect Y. Any button and anything in your keyboard is gonna detect. Also for slot, if you want to move between slots for colors, you can set the shortcut from here. if we press like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm moving, I'm just pressing the keys, and as you can see, it is painting at the same time. All right, we can clear it from here. And this one for segmentation of auto painting, I'm gonna explain it more because that's a little bit complicated. And we have about here, this is about Audja and MTR Studio, okay? So that's the interface and everything in the software. And yeah, in this section we have your account. So any release of the software, you're gonna see release notes here. If any feature or anything, or we add notes, you can see it from beta account here. And all infos of your software and everything, you're gonna see it also up here. And you have contact beta support. So if you have any issue in your software, and it's gonna appear automatic without pressing help and just writing. So if it didn't appear, you can go to help and contact beta support, and you write subject and what the issue was, and it's gonna detect the email of your account you signed in, and you're gonna just press send. You're gonna send the mail, and we have here, and that's it basically. And if we press here, it's gonna open this. All right, and this part is about a split or separating parts. That's basically connecting with Smart Key and Mold Studio. So it's gonna be explained in another videos. So that's it. See you in next video.